Hey guys, I wanted to do a video kind of just talking about stuff for a change. Um, I want to talk about some things like relating to the hobby and how it exists for many of us, myself included. And yeah, just to kind of be open about it and to kind of say that it's okay, I think. Um, Something that I've found is that I can't like just always be, on the hobby, always painting, always like catching up on the lore, staying up to date with the rules, what new units and things like that. There's just so many different facets to like the hobby that it would just be maddening for me to actually do that. I think maybe it's the same for you as well. I don't know. Um, but it seems like a lot of people can, and that's great. Good luck to them. But for my own experiences, I do this channel as a hobby actually. I do the hobby stuff as a hobby. I have a full-time job with responsibilities and things. I have a family. I have two young kids, and a partner and a house, and we have to look after that and things. So yeah, it feels like to sort of always be just like focusing on what new flipping space marines are out there. I'm not sure that that was always the best use of my time, and that's okay. It's okay for you. It's okay for me. Like it's okay for everybody. Like we're basically entertaining ourselves with this stuff, and it's not like life or death stuff. But I love it. I love doing it. But yeah, I can't always be on it. Sometimes I wish I could, but at other times I'm really thankful to have other things going on in my life. And I try and do well at them as well. Um, yeah, there's so many different facets to the hobby that as I was just saying, there's like the game. That's one aspect, and within that there's which models you're gonna have, which armies, which different paint schemes. There's different like metas, like what's the most effective way to win if you care about that. If you don't care about winning, what's the most effective way to have a good narrative campaign? And that's just the game. And then outside of that, there's the lore, and there's just an entire factory of lore. Like there's a lore factory, and it's just continuously pumping out like some really good stuff and some not so good stuff, as is often the case with creative endeavors. Yeah, so sometimes when I go online on the Facebook groups and things, and I know that's my fault, isn't it? But going on them, but like people seem to have this like everyone seems to know much more lore than I do. For one thing, I've been playing 40k since second edition. I was playing it a lot then. I feel like around like was it around like fourth or fifth edition did Games Workshop just like start making loads of books or something, or maybe they existed when I was a kid that I didn't know about. But anyway, everyone seems to know like everything about the Horus Heresy, and I've read like what is it up to like book 6, at which stage I kind of got bored, to be honest. The first one, Horus Rising, absolutely great book. Totally recommend it if you haven't read any of them. For me, that was just like the best one. Like wow, I hope they're all like this. And I just sessioned loads of them, and then they gradually just went downhill in my opinion. Anyway, that's the lore aspect, and then you've got what the video games. There's any amount of video games out there with Warhammer strapped on the title. They sub-license so many different parts of the IP that you can play whatever you want, basically. Actually, no, that's not true. For the Warhammer 40k titles, it's mostly free-to-play mobile games. Warhammer Total War, there's really high production value games being put out by Creative Assembly. They're great games. Recommend them if you're into Warhammer Fantasy. But anyway, there's that. There's basically there's others as well, isn't there? The animations online and things. There's all kind of little nooks and crannies of the hobby, and it's okay not to like be into all of them. I think, to be honest, like I like the lore, but I prefer the game. In all honesty, the lore, it feels like, especially some of the people who read the lore or talk about the lore, they seem to like take inspiration from like what humanity could hopefully not become, instead of like realizing that it's a parody. It's mocking the state of humanity in that stage rather than lauding it. But that's my opinion. Um, yes, and for me, like, I go through phases of probably because I prefer the game. That's kind of why this channel exists. I think I even prefer playing it to painting models, even though my channel is called Peacetime Painting. I have thought about calling it Peacetime Wargaming as a kind of as a comment on the dichotomy. No, just like we play war games in our peacetime. Basically, this is the time, our downtime when we can do whatever we want, and it's our peacetime basically. So that's why I call this channel this. It's because it's my peacetime, and you know, when you sit down and watch your bat reps from your favorite YouTubers, or your, you know, painting videos from your favorite YouTubers, or flipping, I don't know, football highlights, that's your peacetime kind of, isn't it? And like, that's kind of what I wanted to say when I made Peacetime Painting. Anyway, I digressed. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, with the game, I prefer the game. You'll probably notice with the videos that I put out that they come in, I do a glut of like a thing, and then I have a sinusoidal, is it sinusoidal? Oh, anyway, it's a wave, let's not get too fancy. I have a kind of wave, my interest goes in waves, so sometimes I'll be like really into that thing for a few weeks, and then I'll like be, okay, cool it, I'll go and do something else. I'll go and make some oars for a rowing boat, which I did in the summer, rather than making content or painting. Yeah, like, that's okay. You'll be yeah, if you look at my videos, I think I was doing a bat rep a day a while back. I was doing these 40k face off videos where basically it was like, you know, when you're like younger and you would buy your, or maybe if you're just getting into it now, you buy your first unit, and by the strict rules of Warhammer, maybe you can't actually use that unit because it's not, I don't know, in a detachment, or it's not, you know, blah blah blah, got an HQ. But I just thought, bollocks to it, basically. Just like have a, what was it, like 1 killer can, 1 sniper, flipping 3 poxwalkers, just like throw them in the grinder and see what happens, you know, have a little fight. I thought it was a lot of fun. People seem to enjoy watching them as well. Check them out if you haven't done. But yeah, like then I basically stopped doing it, and someone did. What was funny is like I was totally happy doing them. I was loving doing them. I was doing them on my lunch breaks, and someone was like, "Watch you don't burn out." And I thought, oh shit, like I didn't realise that's an option, to be honest. And then shortly after I actually burnt out, I think it's safe to say, and then I stopped doing them. But yeah, that's like, it's okay to do that, I think. And I mean, yeah, and before I mentioned the different aspects of it, the painting is such a huge one. There's people who paint the models and know about the lore, or even just paint the models, and they don't play the game or whatever. That's cool. But if you go on Instagram and things, there's just such a high bar of painting that it's kind of, maybe like, it could be very off-putting to people just thinking about getting into it. Sometimes it's off-putting me, and I've been doing it for years, to like even like pick up a brush and like, you know, finish that model or something. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, it's okay. Just like do little bits and things as you please. Yeah, that's kind of I think that's all I wanted to say with this video, really. It's just like the wave of interest and the many different facets of the hobby. It's okay just to like not do it for months, weeks, or even years. Like, I didn't play for what, 3 years. I didn't paint for 3 years. I didn't have, I maybe had a handful of models, of which, you know, there's a couple there on the shelf anyway. But yeah, like, if you're like in a hobby slump, or if you're like, don't know, just not that into it at the minute, that's okay. Like, Papa Peacetime's got your back. Papa Peacetime. Right, cool. Alright, I think that'll be it for this video. If not, then I'll probably start recording again in 2 seconds. But if so, then thanks again for watching. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Am I totally wrong? Maybe I am. I don't know. Thanks for watching, and yeah, take care of yourself. Peace time painting.